Hi, Catherine. I'm so glad to see you today, and thanks for joining us for an opportunity to talk a little bit about your coaching experience and background. It's a snowy day here in Pennsylvania, and I'm really glad to connect with you.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, how did you get so passionate about coaching, and why are you so passionate about coaching?
That is such a great question. I love coaching because I love getting to know people. I love like really digging in and helping people understand, not just, how to write a good essay,
Mhm.
but, you know, really what's driving them and what makes them tick and what are their strengths. I think a lot of times, when I'm working with clients and women in particular, um, we become blind to our own strengths. And so talking to somebody and even just going through a resume or um, talking about their work experience or something they did in their volunteer experience, and I'm like, wow, like you did that. That's really impressive. And they're like, really? That's I didn't know that. It was so cool. I love having that light bulb go off in their head when they realize like that they're stronger than they know, right? That's a really fun moment. And I always joke with my clients when we start out that, after our first few sessions, when we really dig into like the strategy questionnaire and what motivates them and what their values are and their failures, I'm like, that point, I'm your new best friend because I know everything about you.
Things that you didn't even think you were going to learn. I love it.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
So, what do you think your coaching superpower is?
Oh, my superpower. I think that my superpower is helping people cut through all the clutter in their head that is spinning around and all these ideas that they don't know how they come together or what they should be talking about, and really helping them get that into a clear, concise message.
Right.
I think that oftentimes that's what's so overwhelming to
Sure.
people. And, I always tell my clients, I say, tell me everything. I would much
Right. It's
rather
true. It's true.
you tell me, 1,000 words worth of stuff for a 300 word essay
Mhm, mhm.
than 100 words where it's fun. And so oftentimes clients will come back and say, how in the world did you do that? Like, how did you get that down? And it's you just need an outside perspective
It's
sometimes.
true. It's true. And we talk about like the kitchen sink, just give me
Yeah.
everything and then we will figure it out together.
Yes, exactly,
And I've
exactly.
done that exercise with you. So I personally appreciate it a lot. Um, you've had so many great client interactions and student interactions. You've been in this industry of education for and made an impact for a long time. Can you
Gosh.
give me an example of a story that you think was particularly like impactful for you? It doesn't have to be a success, but it's just about, an interaction with a client or a student that you really appreciated.
Yeah. Well, and actually you were copied on this email, but I think last year I had a client who just we really to a good got into a really good rhythm, and he's such a good guy. And he was in a very competitive applicant pool, but he ended up getting in to Fuqua with a scholarship. Um, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And as a lot of international candidates were doing, he had a lot of thoughts about, this experience that was
Right.
going to be very different than he thought. And the fact that he wasn't going to be able to be on campus his first year. And so really questioning a
Mhm.
lot of things. And so even though, our engagement was formally over, we got on a Skype call and we talked and we worked it through. And I remember he started at Fuqua this fall, and he wrote just the most wonderful, thoughtful email about how thankful he was for me and you and the team, and just and going above and beyond what he
Yeah.
had expected. And just saying that he wanted to keep in touch, and it
I
was
love
really,
that because we do get to know them, we're
yeah,
really like in it for many, many months, sometimes up to a year, sometimes
yeah,
longer.
yeah.
And just to have that relationship and that trust,
Mhm.
and I appreciate that so deeply, that
Yeah.
ongoing opportunity to really continue to converse and talk about what's going on and figure things out together.
Yeah. I even actually once met one of my clients. She came to tour at Fuqua,
Ah, I
and
love
so
it.
she was in Durham, and I'm in Raleigh, so I'm 30 minutes down the road. So we met up for brunch. It was so fun. Like after all these calls
Sure,
to
like live
actually
and in
meet in
person. There's
person, it
your
was really neat.
um, I know I have a lot of advice in general to give. Is there something that you would say is a good piece of advice for students going through this process?
In terms of the application
Application
process,
process, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's so important to take the time to self-reflect,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And really do a strong self-assessment, which, whether it's an application to graduate school or, you know, a, a job search, it's so important, but it's time consuming, and it's something that we just want to put off and like worry about later. And it's just such an important part of the
Mhm.
process. And if you don't take that time to think about the things you're good at that you really enjoy, and the things that you've gotten good at but you don't
Right,
really enjoy and you don't want to do, the the strengths, weaknesses, all these things, and just really thinking about how that applies within your application, but also your career goals, and what you want out of an MBA. I think that the clients that really do that well and take the time to do that well are the most successful. And they also come back and say, you know, I am ahead of the game. Like I got on campus and I'm getting
right. They
thrown
were,
into
yeah, they
recruiting.
kind of hit the ground running because they'd already gone
Yeah.
through the exercise.
Yes. I had a client who emailed me her first semester at Kellogg and was like, I am so thankful that you asked me so many questions
Because I
about.
had to like dig deep. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. She was like, I feel like I'm so far ahead. And I'm just so thankful. So, those are the stories that we love.
Catherine, I am so glad to talk to you. It's such a pleasure. The time always
Oh,
goes too fast,
it does. It does.
but such a wonderful opportunity. And I know that your clients and your students and people that are looking to get to know you
Yeah.
are excited about that. And I thank you so much for your time. And I'll see you
Thank you so
soon.
much. It was great talking to you. Hope to do
Bye.
it again.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.